Here's the moment last night when the press conference, which could be his last ever in Pittsburgh, deviated toward the subject of Mike Tomlin and his former head coach in Green Bay, Matt LaFleur, being on the actual or proverbial hot seat. Here's Rodgers.
You know, when you hear a conversation about the Mike Tomlins of the world, Matt LaFleurs of the world, those are just two that kind of I've played for. And when I first got in the league, there wouldn't be conversation about whether those guys were on the hot seat. You know, but the way that the league is covered now, and the way that there's snap decisions, and the validity given to the Twitter experts and all the experts on TV now who make it seem like they know what the hell they're talking about. To me, that's an absolute joke. And for either of those two guys to be on the hot seat is really apropos of where we're at as a society and a league, because obviously Matt's done a lot of great things in Green Bay, and we had a lot of success. Mike T has had more success than damn near anybody in the league, for the last 19, 20 years. And more than that, though, when you have the right guy and the culture is right, you don't think about making a change. But there's a lot of pressure that comes from the outside, and obviously that sways decisions from time to time. But it's not how I would do things, and not how the league used to be.
Back in my day, the league wasn't that way. Look, his targets should be the people who own the teams. That's what he should be saying. Why are you captains of industry swayed by these morons who go on TV and tell you what you should do? Are you not capable of making a decision without regard to whether or not someone is going to say you made a bad decision? How thin-skinned are you? How unsure are you of your own resolve when it comes to making decisions? And again, as I said earlier, Matt LaFleur is perceived to be on the hot seat only because he has an unresolved contract situation for 2027, and Ed Policy, the new president of the Packers, has made it clear he doesn't want a lame duck in 2026, so they're going to extend the deal or it's going to be over with. And the Packers created this situation. Nobody has said he'll definitely be back as head coach next year. And when the noise was out there, when people started connecting the dots based upon things Ed Policy already said, there's never been a statement, an acknowledgement, anything. That's how you do it. That if you want to put a fire out, you got to put a hose on it. So, look, this is the whole blame the media, and the media is the problem. It's exhausting. That's the thing people say when they don't want people scrutinizing fairly the things they say. And Aaron Rodgers has a history of not wanting people to scrutinize the things he says and call BS on the things he says and does. That's where that all comes from. I feel better now, Devin.
But I do think he's right, and you're right in the sense of there are a lot of people that if you go on Twitter and you go on TV, they talk and they say all these things, and a lot of them don't make sense. But I think where you're right is that doesn't matter. Like, there's people who are going to say stuff all the time. Ultimately, somebody gets to be a decision maker. They can either fire a head coach, move on from a head coach. Like, that's ultimately up to them. So, like, we can put anybody we want on TV. They have a right to have their opinion on what they think about a situation. But that doesn't tell the Cleveland Browns to fire Stefanski or the Steelers to fire Tom. Like, nothing tells them to do that. That is ultimately their decision. They're running an NFL franchise. Like, if we're really saying that they're listening to everybody on TV and Twitter, that's more of an issue than anything. So, yeah, I get it. There's a lot of dumb things that are said on TV and Twitter and all of that. They have a right to do that, and if guys want to make decisions based off that, then so be it.
This is just part of the machinery that a popular sport has spawned, and the machinery helps make it more popular, which helps people like Aaron Rodgers make more money. So he was way off with that. And he's starting to sound like old man yelling at clouds. And Aaron, you are 42. Now, look, I'm 60, so what the hell? I'll trade you. But you are starting to get up there. There's a lot of you made you want to start shaving that goatee off, lest you look like Santa Claus, which is why I'm always clean shaven. Because I'm telling you, Devin, if I would let this thing grow out, I'd have kids sitting on my lap asking me for a Fraggle Stick car. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.